He's ready. My guy is ready, 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 ready. That's a great fight. Shakur is a hell of a talent. I don't think that he's Devin at all, but we'll see. We hear a lot of, the media and jumping in the ring. Like Devin always says, you got to put some substance with it and talk to the right people and do the right things and do it the right way, and let's make it happen. No, let's sit it right there. I just told you is that if you don't want to fight, then you don't want to fight. There's no clauses, there's no catches, there's no nothing.
As talks heat up around a potential showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, the tension outside the ring is already rising.
These guys don't want to do it, you know what I mean? And then when I said that they say everything except let's fight, that same phrase that we coined on Champ Side Boxing, it's standing to be even more true.
At the center of it is Bill Haney, who has openly criticized Stevenson's approach. He dismissed Shakur as Twitterson, suggesting that the online talk has outweighed meaningful action against elite competition. According to Bill, a legitimate offer to fight Devin Haney has already been presented, and instead of trading messages on social media, Stevenson should sign the contract and make the bout official.
Every time Devin got a fight, here come Twitterson. Here come Twitterson. I'm telling you, every time he got a fight, here come Twitterson. And even when we tried to negotiate with Twitterson, right? We tried to talk to him, he came back out and started tweeting. That's why they changed it to X.
Despite the criticism, Stevenson remains unwavering in his confidence. He believes his defensive brilliance, elite footwork, and precise counterpunching give him the edge. In his view, controlling distance, neutralizing Haney's jab, and dictating the tempo would allow him to outbox Haney and prove his technical superiority on fight night.
Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me, personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
Bill Haney, however, sees things differently. He warns that Stevenson would be stepping into the ring with elite speed, championship composure, and proven big fight experience. From his perspective, there would be no room for error under the bright lights, and any flaw in Stevenson's game would quickly be exposed.
He has a management team that does it. And let's just stay and keep it right there. Everything that he's saying, he's not going to 100% stand on it because he says he doesn't negotiate against himself and refers back to his team. So I can't take any of that serious, especially like I said, given an opportunity that you understand that he says that based on Conor Ben doing something that he felt might be unfair and putting it on Chris Eubank is what he's saying that he might do to him. When we talk about size, we talk about abilities, we talk about age, they're all in.
Adding another layer to the negotiations, Bill Haney has firmly rejected the idea of a rehydration clause for Devin. He made it clear that no post-weigh-in restrictions will be accepted, signaling that any attempt to introduce such conditions could complicate discussions before they even gain real traction.
Did you see Shakur's interview where he said that he might fight Devin at 47 if he was on a rehydration clause?
He had an opportunity and there was no clauses, there was none of that, you know what I mean? Obviously with them, the time will be right for them to fight, now, you know what I'm saying? The weight that they fight at, they've always been one weight behind each other or one weight after. Shakur will come up, you know what I mean? Devin will be at that weight for, have been campaigning at that weight. It's on him, you know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's gonna get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down, we can't go down to 135. So he would have to come up and, he can get this work anytime he's ready.
For now, the fight remains in the realm of negotiations and public back and forth, but with pride, legacy, and stylistic supremacy on the line, this potential matchup has all the ingredients to become one of boxing's most technical and intriguing battles if the contracts get signed.
Is that a fight you guys are seeking, or are you leaving it alone since he's saying that it would require Devin to get a rehydration clause? Is that something you're willing to get on a phone and discuss how many pounds exactly?
Well, when you're speaking about Debo, You might hear a whole lot of shit that's inconsistent with things that you say about normal fighters. When you talk about a generational talent like Dev, you would expect those that are elite to look to have, to be on a level playing field. What you weigh is what you weigh, and how you get down the next day is, it's what it's all about,
Devin Haney recently challenged Shakur Stevenson on social media. He said their possible fight would be the next biggest fight in boxing and could make a lot of money for both of them. Haney explained that fans really want to see this match and that it could help both of their careers grow even more. Stevenson replied carefully. He quoted Haney's post and wrote, "Be careful what you ask for. Things might just happen." His response showed that he is interested in the fight, but he also wants to stay smart and keep his options open during negotiations.
Yesterday, media, I'm doing the media stuff yesterday. I'm going around. Devin talked a little bit of shit. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, man, I seen some of this shit.
You seen a little something? He said, one of the things they asked him, they asked him about his biggest payday or something. And he was like, yo, every time anybody fight me, it's the biggest payday. He said, I offer Shakur his biggest payday.
I know where you going.
That's what he said.
Cap.
Yeah.
He just capping for like social media. Like, he not gonna be like realistic about the situation. The thing, like the behind the scenes, like, I talk to these people behind the scenes too. It ain't like he's the only person who's having conversations behind the scenes. I know the full numbers of everything. I know what the number was when they was going to present the fight. It wasn't more than what I made in my last 3 fights. It's less than what I made in my last 3 fights. And that man getting way more, you feel me, than he ever made in his entire career to fight me. So it's like, you capping, like you going on social media capping and trying to spread lies to keep your name good. Like that's what I see from him, man.
Haney and Stevenson have known each other for a long time. They both started boxing at a young age and came up through the amateur level together. Over the years, they watched each other improve and built respect for one another as they became professional fighters.
Yeah, I like Shakur. I think he's good. I've been knowing Shakur since I was a kid, so I always knew that he was good. I knew that he would be at the top one day. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, me and Shakur, we've been sparring since, bro, I think my first sparring session, we were like 12 years old, maybe a little bit older, but something like around it, maybe like 13 years old. So it's been times when he got the best of me and I got the best of him. But I cannot, judge him off of those sparring sessions. I know he's gotten better, just like I can't judge Ryan off of the fights we fought when we were kids, because I know that he's gotten better and so have I. If you judging off a sparring session, you're gonna be in for a long night, especially a sparring session when I was a kid.
Shakur Stevenson remembers growing up in the same amateur boxing scene as Devin Haney. They sparred and competed against each other for many years. Stevenson says those early fights, where he believes he often won, helped improve his skills and prepared both of them for the professional level.
Me and Devin, we came up together like in the amateurs. I used to go to his house down in Vegas. He used to live in like a big ass mansion, and I was kind of like, I was like a broke young nigga from the trenches at the time. But when I seen like the way he was living, that shit kind of motivated me, and it made me want to like work harder and get to that kind of status. But he really it was his dad money at that time though.
So his dad, yeah. So what exactly did his dad do to have that much money?
I can't tell you. I don't know. I know that nigga was rich though.
Devin Haney dismissed the proposal of a strict rehydration restriction, believing it would leave him compromised once the opening bell rang. He maintained that limiting how much weight he could regain after the weigh-in would diminish his strength and stamina. Although he remained interested in securing major matchups, Haney made it clear he would not agree to terms that could undercut his performance inside the ring.
Yeah, truthfully, I wouldn't and I couldn't, do the rehydration clause. At the end of the day, I'm the man with the belt, I'm the man with the hardware, and if it was a rehydration clause, it would be something that I wouldn't do.
On the other side, Shakur Stevenson's team viewed a rehydration clause as essential for maintaining fairness, particularly when fighters move up in weight. From their perspective, such provisions help prevent one competitor from gaining a significant overnight size advantage. Bill Haney's unwillingness to accept any limits threatened to complicate negotiations, potentially delaying or even derailing a Stevenson-Haney showdown. Trainer Wally Moses clarified that rehydration clauses are designed to stop fighters from regaining excessive weight after the official weigh-in, ensuring that neither man enters the ring with a pronounced physical edge.
When I seen Conor, man, just now, he came up there with the aspect like he's a really big big guy, but he's not a really big guy, you know. So I don't want to think he got so much power and he's so strong, you know. He's not no killer. You see him? Seem like a killer to you? Not to me, so.
Meanwhile, Shawn Porter expressed strong confidence that a showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney would be razor close and filled with drama. He emphasized the speed, ring awareness, and technical precision both fighters possess, making it nearly impossible to identify a clear favorite. Porter envisioned a high-tempo chess match where reflexes and split-second decision-making would matter just as much as punching power. In his view, the fight would swing back and forth, with each man poised to capitalize on the slightest mistake, delivering a display of elite strategy that would keep fans captivated from start to finish.
I don't know who I see beating Shakur Stevenson.
Right?
I really don't know who I see beating him.
It's good.
The thing with that is it's an amazing fight because both guys are very quick, very intuitive, and very fast and sharp. I do lean with, I'm not even gonna pick a winner in that because this is my first time playing it in my head, and I just see it. It's just so back and forth, and it's that fast chess that we always talk about, and it's that fast chess, which it's gonna be slick.
What wins a fast chess match? What makes a difference?
Who's fastest?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's who's fastest, and it's also not just who's fastest with the hands, but also mentally to make that setup in that second move. Both guys have the ability to do it, you know. So it's just, I think that fight really is just a matter of who's able to set up and capitalize the fastest. That's a fantastic fight.
Roy Jones Jr. also weighed in, praising Stevenson's victory over Teofimo Lopez as a beautiful performance. He highlighted Stevenson's discipline and elite defensive instincts, drawing comparisons to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jones respected Stevenson's willingness to consistently face top-tier competition, noting that such challenges only strengthen his standing at the highest level of the sport.
Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but you gotta learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this because this is gonna mean a lot for him. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he was jumping too far back out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You understand me? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
That's how I say. I feel like he was running.
He really ain't running. He just don't understand that distance. Somebody gotta teach him, and I would teach him if they brought him to me to teach him. But he gotta understand what I'm trying to tell him. I'm not trying to criticize him.
Right.
When you say something bad, they take it as criticism.
Right.
No, son, you gotta understand how to not jump. Okay. People know what the thing that dig the hole, the excavator, right?
Yeah.
If you move that thing back too far, you can't reach the job.
Right.
It's gotta work, but it gotta stay on the job while it works. You can't take it out of, if you working with this, cause this part keeps on the job, the feet. This do the work. If you take the thing and move it back, it's off the job, it can't work no more. Right. So if you move back every time off the job, it ain't gonna ever get no work done. So now it's gonna become boring.
At the same time, some analysts pointed out subtle technical details in Stevenson's movement, observing that he occasionally drifts too far out of range after defending. Jones explained that this tendency can cost him opportunities to counter immediately. He suggested that staying slightly closer would allow Stevenson to punish mistakes more effectively and transform defense into instant offense. Despite the critique, Jones maintained that Stevenson remains an elite talent, believing that minor refinements could elevate his game to an even higher level.
Why? It ain't doing nothing. It started on the hold, then it moved to another. It started on the hold, then it moved to another. When we gonna get a pond dug? We're not, because it's taking off the job too much. You gotta leave it on the job for it to get a pond dug. And that's his only thing. He a great fighter. He got great eyesight. He has great reaction time. He gonna be a great fighter. He just gotta figure out how to use them feet a little different.
Is he the best defensive fighter out of all four of them?
Right now, defensive, yes, because his defense is with his feet. That's what people don't understand. Defense isn't with your hands, it's with your feet. And he has the best foot defense of the game. So if he uses it for defense, when it's strictly defense, yes. But when you want to make it offensive, you can't do the same. You gotta cut it in half. And that's the only thing he had a problem with. Once he learns that, or figures that out, he gonna be a killer.
Would the skill he has now make him the best out of them four?
Right now, no. Because some people gonna say, boy, and the reason the rest of them don't wanna fight him is because they know he know that back foot game so well that he's not gonna engage until he wants to engage. And that's a good thing too. But for the fans and to be
not right now,
the ratings, you gotta be able to engage when they need you to engage. If you can't, then you're gonna become bored. So he's not boring.
Mickey Bay pushed back against the idea of adding a rehydration clause to a potential showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. From his standpoint, elite professionals should not be placing limits on what the other fighter can weigh after stepping off the scale. If both sides agree to the bout and successfully make weight, he believes the contest should proceed under standard conditions, without additional restrictions complicating matters.
You know, it's food to me too. It be like, oh, you know, for the accolade, because I do like the accolades, you know, I respect guys that's still keeping the old school thing in the boxing. Like, you know, it ain't all about money. Of course, it is about money, because you're going to get both anyway. But I'm saying I respect the old school, the few old school cats that still is going for the multiple divisions, to come up, come down, you know, here, you know, just to keep that tradition going.
Yeah, 100%. You know, going up a weight class to grab 2 belts makes sense. And, you know, people say, you know, both of these guys are not necessarily considered punchers. So it's like maybe something that Devin can definitely go out up there with ease, only need to deal with the size.
In Bay's assessment, such clauses are only justified if a fighter fails to hit the contracted number at the official weigh-in. Otherwise, he argued that rehydration limits interfere with competitive balance. Even modest weight gains overnight, in his view, can enhance strength, durability, and overall effectiveness once the opening bell sounds.
He's probably going to have the speed advantage because he's a smaller guy coming up. So, I mean, you tell me, do you feel like that's going to be harder than the Lomachenko fight?
No. I think Loma probably be his hardest top 2 or 3 fights in his whole career. I could predict that even going to the end, you know, to say if Devin fight 8, 9, 10 more years, that'd be one of his top 2 or 3 hardest fights because the age that he fought him. Loma was at his very peak. He was at his peak. He was older. He was right there at his top peak. And Devin was young. So, you know, and he was 135. People forgetting Devin was 135 just a couple years ago. So, no, it won't be as hard as that. But size-wise, yeah, I mean, that's a big factor because we saying the dude that was just lightweight a couple years ago. But, you know, Dev wanted to be great. That's just something that's in him. It's only a few dudes like that in boxing right now that really want to do that kind of stuff. So,
former world champion Timothy Bradley Jr. expressed his belief that Shakur Stevenson is on track to become one of boxing's biggest stars, potentially surpassing Terence Crawford in mainstream recognition. Bradley acknowledged Crawford's historic accomplishments, but suggested that his relatively low media presence limited his broader fame. Stevenson, in contrast, actively connects with fans through social media, positioning himself more visibly in the public eye. Bradley argued that when Stevenson's skill set is combined with his confidence and growing media engagement, he has the potential to become one of the defining figures of boxing's next generation, even if natural charisma is not his strongest attribute.
Just about Shakur and his I would say projection. You know, the irony is it's crazy because, you know, back when, you know, I was helping somewhat mentoring Terence Crawford. You know, Terence Crawford surpassed everything I done did and more. Interesting enough, Terence Crawford mentored Shakur, and Terence Crawford is on Mount Rushmore. Yeah, he is for sure. But I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terence Crawford.
Bradley further emphasized that Stevenson possesses all the necessary tools to emerge as the sport's next major attraction. His technical sharpness, defensive command, and high boxing IQ place him in position to help shape a new era, one where precision, timing, and strategic control take priority over raw punching power.
And Garcia, Devin Haney, you know, Conor Ben, like there's a lot of fights that like Shakur can like be involved in and beat all these dudes, man. Beat all of them. Has a chance of beating all of them, right? And solidifying, you know, his mark in the sport, you know, being, you know, the great of his generation. You know, when Crawford left, I told y'all that, you know, Shakur was the next guy on the throne. And I truly wholeheartedly still believe that. I know there's guys that has worked with Shakur in the past that swear up and down. Oh, shoot, I even forgot Murataya is there too. Guys like Andy Cruz. I mean, there's a lot of talented guys that people respect that Shakur has the ability to freaking challenge.
Plans for a potential showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney encountered complications after Stevenson ran into an issue with the World Boxing Council, WBC. Stevenson had aimed to fight at 140 lbs for another organization's title while retaining his WBC lightweight belt. However, the WBC's rules require a formal written request to keep a title when moving up in weight. Stevenson's team had only made verbal inquiries and never submitted the necessary paperwork, leading the WBC to vacate, not strip, his belt. President Mauricio Sulaiman confirmed the decision followed the organization's long-standing rules, which are applied consistently to all champions.
Shakur Stevenson no longer the champion.
Thank you. Let me give you the full story. We received a call from his management in which they requested the WBC to have Shakur Stevenson fight on a different weight category while maintaining the lightweight championship, and being this a WBC event, which even they asked for a special belt for the fight. We explained clearly that that is within the WBC rules, and that I would be very happy to convey that to the board and make it happen, because Shakur has been associated with WBC since 2019. I told his management they needed to send a written request in order to start all the process. From that point on, we had another couple of conversations. They were supposed to send a written request, which didn't happen.
The WBC also explained why Stevenson needed their permission to change weight classes and outlined a sanctioning fee for competing in another division while retaining a WBC title. This fee is calculated as a standard portion of the fighter's purse for special events. Sulaiman emphasized that the fee is not punitive but reflects the value of holding a WBC championship, and it can be adjusted if deemed disproportionate to the purse. Stevenson criticized the requirement as unnecessary and excessive, while analyst Mannix noted that such rules can frustrate elite fighters and limit career flexibility. Mauricio Sulaiman defended the policy, insisting it ensures fairness, preserves the legitimacy of titles, and maintains the sport's standards.
Send a letter insisting on them we tried everything to avoid this situation. What we send is the WBC approves your petition to fight, and according to the WBC rules, a fee of $120,000, which is less than the 3% that should be, which they, by the way, they can contest and say, no, we're not making this amount, we are making this, and we have done it many times. We have adjusted the sanction fees when the promoter or the manager or the fighter proves that it is less. Since we had zero communication from their side, we initiated that, and we put $120,000 fee on they've been saying he made 7 or 10 million or whatever. We had zero response. The only response was, we will receive it, we will address this later today.
So, who would come out on top if Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney finally meet in the ring? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below.